Hi everyone, welcome to the 14th episode of the Never Walk Alone show with me, Prasad. It's been some time since I said this. The last I think was against the match reaction against the Man United game, which was until now is very satisfying, I believe. So welcome back, and yes, Hari Raja with us today again, our classic pundit. So welcome again to the show, Mr. Hari Raja.
Hey, hi. Thank you for inviting again for this season. I'm very happy to be in your show as well. And it's going to be a new season, and let's get rocking.
Yep. So we're just going to go quickly to the topic. So the first thing that we're going to do is we did not actually review on the last season, season 2021. So we're just going to do a quick review on that. It was not the season as what we expected, but we have some excuses, to say, we have injuries, this and that. But what the most satisfying was the win against Man United. That wraps up, the whole season, and towards the end of the season, we had a very good run of wins as well. So we're just I'll just pass it to Mr. Hari Raja, okay, for the review.
Okay.
So just before that, yep, hold on, sorry.
No problem.
Okay, just before that, I'm just going to show you some stats on the last season. Okay, so this is a stat that we see over here. Sorry. So we have actually played 38 games. We won 20 of them. We have lost 8. The goals, that is a very big surprise. A very huge decline. We only scored 68 goals the whole season. Quite a lot of goals that we considered 42, and we only managed to have 12 games of clean sheets. We see on the attack side on the left, you have scored 68 goals in the season. Okay, 1.79 goals per game. And look at the shots comparatively to the shot on target. We only managed 35% accuracy. I think that sums up our season, because we had a crisis. Definitely, we had a crisis on the defense because of the injuries, and overall in the Liverpool squad. But our front three was not performing as what is expected. So that is an evidence there. Shot accuracy is 35%. Okay, we had a fair share of passes, quite high in terms of passes, goals conceded. And one thing that I would like to say as well, we had a decent season in terms of discipline. Why I say that is because we did not have any red cards in the season. All right, we had only 40 yellow cards and we had nil red cards. So this is the stats that shows how our season went in the Premier League. Okay, last season. So your thoughts on how did Liverpool perform last season, Mr. Hari Raja?
Okay, if we look at the stat back, right, we have noticed few things. But last year was a bit crazy season because of COVID actually hit up and all those things. But when we generally look at the entire start for what Liverpool have done, actually, to be honest, we lost the momentum in mid of the season, not exactly at the beginning or at the end of the thing. So when we lost, you see, when we started, we had a good game, right? We were winning, Jota was scoring, and our defense was solid. And even we managed, even we lose some goals, right, concede some goals, we still scored. But of course, at that point itself, one thing was also clear. We had dilemma in scoring, okay? Only Jota was actually trying to score, and Salah and Mane was actually having an issue finishing the goals as well. I don't know whether they're having an issue between them or whether they're having a lack of confidence in front of goal. We are yet to understand what was going on with them. But Jota was actually performing, and the midfield was also performing well, and the defense was good. But once after our Everton game, everything started to collide. I think you all know what happened. Van Dijk was injured and all those things. So then our defense got shaky. But then itself, if you look into the season at all, we actually had a lot of change of partnership in the centre backs. Okay, Klopp was trying a lot of centre backs for partnership to get it stable and all of things.
I think we had around 20 plus combinations, 20 plus.
Exactly. And that's quite a lot for a Premier League standard. Yeah. But unfortunately, we had that much of crisis. Every of our centre back, where we say second choice or third choice, all were injured. Matip was injured, Gomez was injured. I mean, the list goes on, right?
Yeah.
And we had bought, I mean, we also did some panic buy as well, like, you know, Davies, and also we brought in another player from loan and all those things. So we had some crises at the back. The moment we had crises at the back and we already had crises at the front, we actually were losing at the battle. So, you know, we couldn't score at the chances that we got. Like you said, we had so many chances to, I mean, we created, but unfortunately 35% was on target. So that's actually not good for the standard of the front three, right? So that's actually an issue already started way before, I think, during even our title winning season. The last few games we already had that issues. So that actually carried on with the new season, and that actually already there. So add on with the defensive issue, and you know, where we had, but at the end of the season, I mean, even in the mid, we actually lost character as well. If you see, the comeback characters are all gone. But towards the end, we know that we couldn't got the, I mean, the first place and all, but we wanted to go into the Champions League. The desire came back. And one was the proof was Allison going for the heading and, you know, got the winner and all those things. So,
what a game.
Yeah, I believe you guys won't forget the game, right?
Yeah.
So that actually tee up the momentum. So that momentum was good. So, and we did not have a good preseason due to the COVID and all those things. But this year, I think it will be much different.
Yep, hopefully that was a good review of Liverpool for last season. So let's move on to the transfers that we have made. Not much. There's quite a lot of speculations. Now I was like, you know, getting excited about Mbappe, you know, suddenly Messi, you know, and everything collapsed. What we realistically bought, I mean, we just had one player that we bought. Is Ibrahim Konate. All right, let me just share the site to you. Okay, this guy over here. At first, to be honest, I did not know. I mean, I do not know. They just bought from I think it was Leipzig, right? And but the only thing that I always say, see, I've never seen him play till now. Yeah, I did not really watch that much of preseasons anyway. I just had this highlights and so on. So I do not really know how this guy played. But even though when it was an announcement, or probably when he was in the rumor stage, where they were trying to get Konate, I think I just left it to Klopp, because my hashtag for all of the transfers in and out for Liverpool at this moment is hashtag we trust Klopp. You know, because he made players like Robertson became to international superstars. Players like even Mo Salah and Mane or Gini Wijnaldum, you know, who actually be bought from a relegated Newcastle into global superstars actually. So I think this guy should be there as well soon. But I think I'm excited with these two guys combination. That's why I actually cropped a photo of Van Dijk and Konate, because look at his physiques. This guy is huge. You know, we thought that Van Dijk was huge, but this guy is huge. So your thoughts on Konate, and as well as what are the other potential signings that we can do for this season? We really spoke about strikers. You know, that was like what we have reviewed just now. We had a finishing issue. Okay, we only had one guy, Mo Salah, who actually got 22 goals. And without him, I think the front three or the attacking part of Liverpool is collapsed. So we're literally relying on one. So we were speaking a lot about getting a striker, okay, but it's not happening. I'm not sure whether it's going to happen soon. But what is your comment and your take on that? And as well as, do we really need a striker for Liverpool? If yes, who?
Okay, let's get this transfer thing going on, because it's quite interesting now, right? When the moment the season ends, we'll get excited who's coming in, who's going out. So that's actually quite excited. But I already foresee that Liverpool might not be spending too much in the market because of a few things. You see, we are not a very heavily cash-oriented club where we need to spend like Man City or even Man United and all those people, right? But what we are doing is developing. Like, for example, Liverpool has been developing their, you know, training centers and all. It's quite a big facility, you know, and they're also now expanding the another side of the stand. So the investment is now going on the infrastructure and all. So I know that for sure they're not going to spend too much. But on the purchase of Ibu, I think that's what he want everyone else to name him. It's Ibu, right? So I think purchasing of Ibu is one of the good thing as well, because if you look into our centre back, we have an issue with injuries and all those things, right? And when you talk about Van Dijk, yes, he's a world-class player, but we will never for sure when he's returned is going to be at that standard or not. So you need somebody like Van Dijk as well. So I was watching the preseason and all. I think Ibu is very composed. He doesn't throw in the tackle unnecessarily. So he has his game reading and all. So to me, he's a good addition to the team. Okay. And when he start playing with Van Dijk and all, he'll have more exposure, experience gain and all those things. You see, Van Dijk is, I think, is about 28, 29 years old. So he might have his prime. I mean, if he doesn't got any issue with his injury and all, he may have another 2 or 3 years to be there. Then you need a younger one to do the the pressing works and all those things. So Ibu is always there, and Gomez is good. One thing good about Gomez is that he has the speed. He doesn't have the the defending maturity or what, but he has the speed to recover, and that's what actually helps him a lot to recover and be in the position with Van Dijk. But Ibu is a good addition to us. That's without a doubt. But what we have to look into our team is that, I mean, we are lack of right back. Okay, we have one backup from our academy, but we actually have an issue with our right back. So if you ask me, the priority should be given to the right back. But now we had, Robertson going in injury. We still have one backup, but Robertson injury is like something that I would say it's quite irritating injury. It's not going to give you a thing, but thing is that it'll just get recurring every time. The injury is such manner. Okay, that's why I say it's an irritating injury, because I used to have that as well.
The first thing I heard that was injured, I just tweeted that new season, same old issue.
But if you look at it, if you just look at the entire thing, we had a proper preseason. And if you look at every face of the player, they look very fit. They look super fit, if you ask me. Okay.
Yep.
But Robertson's injury is actually something to do with his own fault, I say. But when you look at it, you look at Keita, he looks super fit. And the way he was playing is super fit, right? So that's what I'm saying. Our priority should be in the right back, because the depth of the right back is not there. Left back, yes, we still have one guy called, Tsimikas, and he's actually performing well. He had a good preseason and he's performing super good. And I think his crosses and everything, I mean, we witnessed that yesterday on the friendly as well. So to me, right back should be adding someone else, but otherwise we're still okay with it. But another position that I want us to have is actually a striker. But unfortunately, we're looking at the entire thing is that Jota is coming back. Okay, we have midfield who's also scoring. Okay, we have Minamino scoring. I mean, looking at Minamino's game also, you should be now being convinced that he's there. So if you ask me, do Liverpool really need to add on some transfer? To me, it's unnecessary at the moment, because Keita's fitness, okay, we can keep himself fit throughout the season. It's considered a new signing. Minamino stepping up will be a new signing. Harvey Elliott, if he can actually improve certain things, let's say, he was playing on the deeper role and he was playing superbly, on the previous friendly, and he could be like a new signing after his Blackburn loan. And I think he looks a matured player. Even
7 goals last season for Blackburn.
Yeah, he looks matured than he used to play in things. So I think he could be another new signing. So even what I'm trying to say is that internally with us itself, we have a lot of players that can actually step up, like a new signing for us. Of course, it will be great if they can step up on time to actually push. But one of his right back is something that we need to look. Another one is in the midfield itself. We need a creative midfield to run the show, to break down the lines and all.
Thiago is not enough, or you need someone else?
Okay, Thiago is still yet, because I think he had a good preseason, but then he got a small knock and everything. So we can't see him much on the preseason and all, but his experience is there for us to put the first ball there. So I still count on him I won't say he's a new signing, but his experience in putting the ball is still there. It's quite vital for us. So he could be crucial. So if you ask me to add in 2 positions, one will be creative midfield, but the first priority will be right back. Other than that, I don't think so that we need a massive reinforcement because, like I said, we have a lot of places that we are already spending for our infrastructure. So we need the stability of the club to grow financially as well.
Right. Thanks for your thoughts, Raja. And let's move on to the squad depth. You're just going through on the team actually. So we have 5 keepers, and definitely we're going to rely only on Alisson Becker. The others are looking very scary, and we have defenders. I think, like what you say, we need some backups probably from the academy, because you have Nico Williams as a good backup for TAA. Might not be the same players or same sort of players, but they are somewhere there. So we have this in our defense. Then let's look at our midfield. We have Fabinho, Thiago Alcantara. I mean, for me, I think we have a very rich midfield and also creative kind of a midfield. So these guys are a bit kind of, they're not Steven Gerrard kind of, who's probably like a bit straight, but these guys are quite creative, like Naby Keita, Fabinho, Curtis Jones, Shaqiri, and definitely Thiago Alcantara, and also Ox. So these guys are pretty creative, and then we have a pretty decent forward lineups as well. But I think it's not sufficient for me personally. I think we have Firmino. I don't really think so. He's gonna be good for Liverpool this season. Sadio Mane and Mo Salah is our only effort, but the push is gonna come from Diego Jota, I believe, and Taki scored goal as well in our preseason. Origi, I don't know whether we are about to sell him or so on, because I think we know that Romelu Lukaku is coming to Chelsea soon, and there's also rumor that Origi might be going the other side. And the big thing that I see is Harvey Elliott. I think, like what you say, is going to be exactly like a new signing for us. So your thoughts on this team that we have at this moment, and how far can we go this season? In terms of in the league, we have also 3 club competition: the League Cup, the FA Cup, and also the Champions League. So how far can we go this season? Your thoughts on our season?
Okay. If you ask me how far we're going to go, it's quite subjective at the moment, because this particular season as well, we have pandemic. So who is actually going to be stuck in pandemic and all that? But when you look into the European country, they are quite okay with it now. They're moving on with it, but still quarantine and all those things are still there for, those who have already got COVID and all. So that could be a factor. But the other factor that really going to be matter is who is going to be performing and how we're going to keep injury free. So when we talk about the top 4, like Man City, we're talking about, the other 4, I mean, like Liverpool, Man City, Man United, even Chelsea and all those people. It's all about keeping their player fit. And nobody actually is reinforcing the team in a massive number except for Aston Villa. If you look into Aston Villa is just going on. I think they have purchased about, if I'm not mistaken, 4 or 5 with loads. They bought in Leon Bailey, they bought in Danny Ings, they bought in Emiliano. So they are really massively enforcing, probably because of the sales of Jack Grealish to Man City. But they are massively going on with that. But other than that, if you look at it, at the moment, Man U has actually secured only Jadon Sancho. Okay. I mean, officially, I'm talking about the official one. Yeah? Okay. And we're talking about Man City securing Jack Grealish. And also they have secured the transfer of Scott Carson for free, actually. Okay, Scott Carson is also going for Man City. If you look into Chelsea, they have actually got in more free and they are selling it more. Okay, all in free and all those things. And when we talk about Liverpool, we bought in Ibu and we have been letting go about 21.5 million out. So if you look into the big 4s and all, they're not spending a lot of money into getting the reinforcement. So it's all about, of course, we have rumors like Varane is going to go to Man U, like, and we talk about, people like from, what's his name? We just mentioned about him. Lukaku is going to Chelsea and also, so it's still under rumor. And Liverpool is also, even Klopp has actually mentioned that there are certain queries going on. Some things can happen before the deadline. He even mentioned that in his interview. So we are not ruling out some new addition as well. And I believe Shaqiri is going up. Okay. Even Nat Phillips are going out because these are the people who are already I mean, Netflix not, but
Mess up the club, is
Shaqiri
it?
intend. Not to say mess up, because they intend to say, no, I don't have the time to play game time and all. So they need to go out. And I think there will be Origi might be going out as well.
Yep.
Because I think he has lost his time. But I won't blame him because we don't give him the time, the minutes that he need to play. You see, any place you can be world class, but if you don't have the minutes, you're not going to be utilized. So
you can't really
if you ask me where
what
we're
is your
going to
capability,
finish,
yes.
yeah, but for
And
me,
I
it's like
really, I mean, since you brought up the topic, I think I actually saw the potential of Origi. I saw he's kind of right-footed Lukaku in terms of his physique and how powerful his flair is, you know. But I just felt it's unfair for him because he's supposed to be like what you said. They're supposed to give him games last season, especially when Mane and Jota was injured, right? This guy is supposed to be there. And the worst thing even, let's say we're gonna speak about this like 5 years on the road. We're gonna say that Mane was injured, Firmino was injured, and Taki was going out for loan, and yet Origi was not on the first 11. People will be surprised, but that was the fact.
no, but the thing is, you see, it is all down to the managers and the philosophy that he believes. His formation is 4-3-3. When playing Origi in 4-3-3, it's not really practical because he's a more typical kind of striker,
Yes.
the one who be the main man, putting the the target man kind of game, like how Emil Eski used to play.
Yes.
That kind of person, you see. So you really can't blame him as well but you need Origi kind of play because you need to change the game certain time. Like when you play like team like Everton and all those things, you cannot be playing like how you use Mane, Firmino, and Salah to play. So that's why you need some game change. But I think it's not fair for him because he needs to move on to the next journey and prove himself. Because here I think the play style is not really, but he really did something. During Barcelona game, I mean, we can't actually blame him, but we have to cherish him because he had given some good memories.
He's a legend.
I think he needs to move on.
Is in or no? If Origi is listening to this, I just want to say thanks, and thanks for Barcelona, definitely. Thanks for Barcelona. That's about.
I mean, a lot. Barcelona, Everton moment. There's a lot of moment that he actually saved us and lift us and all. But that's like I said, it's fair for him to move on and to be another superstar probably in a different club probably. But he has the capability. So like I said, where we will finish, probably we can finish at the top without a doubt. Like I said, there's a lot of possibilities because I've been watching a lot of preseason with Liverpool, Man United, even Man City and all those things. So when I look at the entire preseason, Man United is doing super good, to be honest with you guys. And Liverpool is also doing quite good. If you look into two teams, A and B, still there, right? So like I said, he's there. But don't underestimate Man United this season. They will be also coming up. But depending on how they're going to gel up soon. But I think they're doing good. Man City is somebody that we cannot rule out as well. So it's going to be a very tough competition between Liverpool, Man City, and Man United. So the top three will be also fighting again for this top three. Probably any surprise from coming out, like Chelsea or Tottenham, because Tottenham is actually just getting boys from loan. That's it. They're not purchasing. They're just getting it on loan and on loan. I don't know what's going on with the club. But like I said, this top three club will be there fighting for the title.
Right. So what about Champions League and the other cups? Are we winning anything?
Okay. If you ask me in terms of Jurgen Klopp, right? I don't think so. He believes in a lot of this Carabao Cup or the FA Cup and also. Of course, he will get down his youngsters to go and play and all. It's just a try. But the serious thing will be into two competition: Premier League, Champions League. So when you ask me in Champions League, Liverpool, whether they're doing it bad in the Premier League or doing good in the Premier League, they will still go for the spirit of the Anfield will definitely work in Champions League. So we will go far. That's without a doubt. Probably, I don't know whether we'll win or not. Depends on how the season goes, like I said, but we will go far.
All right. Okay. Here we go again. So, okay, this is going to be my preferred first 11. So, like what we said, we have discussed just now, we have quite a good depth in the squad. And this is my first preferred first 11. And obviously, it's kind of an obvious, except for one guy called Harvey Elliott. I think we're supposed to give him a chance. I know he's physically short. It's kind of like a Coutinho, an English Coutinho kind of a thing. But I just want him to be given a chance. I know Curtis Jones is also there. I was actually trying to, backing up for the last season to be given a chance for him as well. But I think Elliott did very well against Blackburn. He scored 7 goals. I think just half of a season, if I'm not mistaken. So I think he did very well. Apart from that, I think it's all predictable kind of first 11. I still want a striker, a proper striker, and for some reason, I still feel Harry Kane is possible because I don't think so is anyone interested in Harry Kane at this moment. Chelsea have moved on. Chelsea have moved on with Lukaku, and Man United have moved on with Sancho. Man City is never going to speak for strikers because they already had Jack Grealish, and there's a thing called this FIFA Fair Financial Play or something like that, which is going to be a restriction for them. Messi sadly is going to PSG already, so I don't think so anyone there, and definitely Harry Kane is not going to go with Arsenal. So I think that's going to be one part of the field that I feel that Liverpool need to have someone a proper striker again. So this is my preferred first 11. So let's move on to
Fantastic choice.
Let's move on to Hari Raja's first 11. So you talk through your first 11, Hari Raja.
Okay, my first 11, if you see, it's quite the traditional one. I mean, this is what we could be lining up at the moment. Why I choose I mean, of course, Alisson Becker will be the first choice without a doubt because he's there. I mean, he has saved us, he's there, and he's definitely give us a confidence to be at the goal. Why I choose on Kanate, Ibu and also Matip at this point is because Van Dijk needs a lot of game time, but I don't know how Klopp is going to manage. But you see, these kind of injuries that Van Dijk or even Gomez had, it's very difficult to predict how they're going to come back because these injuries are quite tough to, recover. They have a lot of phobias after that, a lot of things that will be running. So we won't know yet whether Van Dijk is going to be, the world class that he used to be, but he has the experience to come in and guide the thing. But for now, the present situation, I think Kanate and Matip will be the best to stand on the middle. Of course, Alexander Arnold will be there without a doubt on the right. Okay, now poor thing is that Robertson is now injured. Probably that have to be replaced with Tsimikas. Okay, so why Robertson? Because of his crossing, he's tirelessly going up and down. I mean, you all know how he plays, right? So it's now Tsimikas' turn to shine, and his crossing is also quite convincing. Of course, just like Robertson, the defensive work is not there, but going forward, Tsimikas is actually doing quite well. So he has actually gelled into the team and how they play. So I think the link-up play on all quite good in Tsimikas. And then, of course, I think Fabinho is definitely in the defensive midfield side because he's the cover for the back four. Without him, we had a lot of issue last season. But then when he was pushed up back to his original position, we had a lot of stability over there. So he's definitely on that. And of course, Hendo should be walking in, but unfortunately, he's also injured. So probably I'll be going with Thiago with his experience in breaking the lines over there. And so definitely
if Henderson is fit, will you go for Henderson?
Oh, definitely Henderson will be replaced with Thiago.
Right, okay.
Because why is because Henderson has he knows how to play Premier League much better than Thiago. He's there, he has done it. He's nurtured from there, so he knows what to do. So probably if he's fit, Hendo definitely going to replace Thiago at the side. Keita, yes, this man. If this man is going to be fit throughout the season, everybody have to watch out. He has the skill. He can run through the defense. He can take shot. This guy has the drive. Okay, but just that he needs to keep himself fit. So for now, he's fit and looks very fit. So he's going to be in the midfield as well because he has the attribution to make the passes within the line, breaking the line. So he'll be very key. And he's actually a creative midfield. If you really look at it, if he's fit, he's actually a very, very creative midfield. So hope he stay fit. And then on the top...
sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Looking at the three midfield that you have actually set up over here, all three are creative. That's why I said it earlier, our midfields are quite creative. They are not kind of like the usual defensive midfield or center midfield. They are kind of like creative people. And every one of them.
So these guys are quite good.
Yeah.
Right. But you see, like I say, Nketiah is going to do the job because you know him. He's very hardworking. I mean, he do his defensive midfield well. So you can do all the defending at the top level itself rather than focusing the ground. So you can defend at the top itself. Again, if you look at it, Mane, Jota, and Salah will be there. Of course, why if people can? Why not Firmino? Okay, Firmino will be good, yes, without a doubt. But the problem here now is that Mane is not scoring as he used to do. If you look into the preseason, yes, he looks much better than last season. But unfortunately, when you look at it, he's still not getting his touch yet. Okay, I mean, you know how he used to play, but I hope his season, as the time goes on, he has proper preseason and all, probably it'll be good to go there. But if when we are talking about creative midfield or not, but if Klopp can change the formation kind of thing, then probably the formation will change to 4-2-1-3, where you give Firmino into a free role, withdrawing Thiago from there, maintaining Keita and Fabinho in the middle, and you leave Firmino in the free role where he do the covering on the midfield side, and remain Jota, Salah, and Mane at the top three will also give another option. But again, like I said, you have a lot of qualities in our team that you don't need to have a reinforcement. But it is good to reinforce in a younger player now, because all these players are actually going to the aging stage already. So the transition period for the new ones to take over is needed. So get a younger player to be in the squad, learn from these guys so that they are given also time and they can step up on this play. So if you ask me to buy a superstar, no, I'll still go for the youngsters to take over that.
Thanks, so okay, let's move on to the Liverpool Norwich, the first game. So we're gonna play away at Norwich. So I think these are the stats. Stats does not really scare us at this moment. But first game is always, it's kind of like the momentum kind of a game. So there's a lot of stats down here. I'm not going to read that because it's going to take a lot of time. So your review, your preview on this game, your take on this game, Hiraja.
Okay, great. Now, when we look at this stat, we will say, wow, it's a clear win for Liverpool without a doubt, isn't it? But bear in mind, it's a new season. There's a lot of new reinforcement, and Norwich also happened. And I just saw their preseason game with another division game, English division as well. I think it's Gillingham, if I'm not mistaken, Gillingham, right? They won 5-0. Okay. And the players that you really need to look into is Billy Gilmore. Okay. This guy is actually loaned from Chelsea. Okay. So he's playing for Norwich now. There's another guy called Millet Rashika. They bought it from Werder Bremen, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. He's another guy. And there's another guy called Les Milo or something like that. Also, yeah, they bought it from Nice or Nice, or from the French club. So these guys are actually performing well. Okay, they are playing in a 1-2 game. A lot of 1-2s being playing in between the lines. So don't take Norwich lightly. Okay, but it's going to be an exciting game. That's for sure. First game, some things that you don't expect and all those things. But one thing is for sure is that Liverpool will win the match. Sorry, guys. They will win comfortably. I will not say 5-0, 6-0 or something like that, probably. But the win is something that I can predict. But it's not going to be an easy game.
All right. So your prediction, please. Your score prediction.
I think 2-0 to Liverpool.
Probably scorers. Any scorers?
I would say Mane will be there. Jota will be there as well.
Thanks. So guys, okay, we are done with our 14th episode for the YNWA Clone Show. So see you guys next round, hopefully for a big game and so on. So catch you guys soon. Thanks Raja again. Thanks for accepting our invitation and joining the show. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. You'll never walk alone.
Never walk alone.